Good stuff. Okay, so welcome everybody along to LinkedIn for Breakfast. Fantastic to have you here. We are super excited about sharing some different tactics, something that can maybe think a little bit outside the box, maybe look at something differently. I was just mentioning before we went live to people to get a flavor for the room in terms of what people's thoughts are about LinkedIn. And some people see it as being a positive thing. People have felt negative about it, tried it, and then thought it's positive. They like the fact it's saving time. But also, we are conscious in this world of AI that we don't want to sound the same as everybody else, and we don't want to be seen as a spammer, and we don't want to be seen as someone that's just using AI and just blurting it over the internet. So, how do we make that? And I want to show you how we can do this in a cool and unspammy way, but take away a load of pain for you in terms of time and ultimately really kind of get the most squeeze from your input into the world's biggest social media network for business owners, which is the wonderful LinkedIn. Right. So let me just, before we start, just give you some a bit of context. What are we doing here? So I always like to start with this slide because you can understand why we do this. It is no devious plan. Our mission here is to basically create the best place on the planet where you can learn how to use LinkedIn for business development and also brand expansion. So getting yourself known more and also getting that inbox pinging with inquiries. And we want to do it for free. That's the whole point of what we do here at LinkedIn Breakfast. We have this weekly event where I can share you some different ideas and tactics and strategies that I hope is practical. That's the big part of this, that you can go implement it for yourselves. And also, we want to give you a resource such as our community where you can come back and ask questions and get help and support, which is the wonderful LinkedIn for Breakfast. Now, Flora is normally amazing at this moment and puts the link into the chat. So if you're not part of this group, it's totally free. There is no sales pitch. You just jump into there. There's a classroom full of different courses that you can do. Things like how to set up a LinkedIn newsletter, how to go LinkedIn Live, how to do lead generation for LinkedIn, all of there at the click of your finger. So do jump into this community. And of course, the replay for this will be in here as well. Good. So now we said that, let's think about our agenda today. So step one, we want to talk about your LinkedIn outreach automation. So we want to look at how we can actually start to really grow on LinkedIn. And once we do that, we can then really think about maybe taking some questions and answers. Now, I will, if you can indulge me right at the end, I've got a little thing that I wanted to share with people because I think people are thinking about next year and actually maybe what their plan might be. And I'm just going to show you a little bit today, which is unusual, but about what my actual client group does, $1 Million Sprint. If you're thinking about doing a big growth journey next year, I'm going to just literally 5 minutes at the end. And to help along the way and to thank you for your time today, we got this great swipe file, right? And this swipe file is my exact LinkedIn outreach templates that I use. And we're going to build this today. And I'm going to give you this swipe file for you to be able to use, copy, edit yourself, and then basically just stick it into a campaign. It works for me. Why wouldn't it work for you, right? Good. So what's the strategy? Why do we do this LinkedIn stuff? Let me just jump onto the blackboard of truth and justice and give you a bit of a scribble to to show you why we do this. And it always gets messy. But remember what we try and do within marketing. We want to take people from awareness to consider to convert to deliver, right? So what do I mean by this? Well, first of all, we need to find a way of finding a target audience and in that target audience, we need to be able to actually make them aware of us. So I go from knowing, not knowing Tony Pincham at all. I have no idea who he is. And then suddenly he sends me a connection request, right? And I go look at his profile. And on his profile says that he does Metaport building scans, right? Or outdoor scans. Oh, okay. I'm kind of aware he does that scanny stuff, right? That's the awareness. Okay, I know I kind of see Tony. Maybe I recognize his profile picture. We all kind of go into that and we start to recognize people's profile picture, which by the way is super important to optimize that profile picture so it is memorable. And then I kind of look at his headline on his profile and it's like, oh, he does this 3D scan. Okay, fine. That's it. Like I just stick you in a box. We all kind of pigeonhole. We go that Bob's a builder. Dave's an accountant, Tina's I don't know, a beautician, whatever it is. We just kind of do that. We kind of become aware, right? And LinkedIn is a wonderful place to do that because you can find a target audience through doing a good search, such as a sales navigator search or just a basic search. We can then connect with those people. And then when they connect, we need to transition them through some messaging and through some posts and some articles or maybe some lives into this stage that which we call consideration. Why is consideration important? Because I go from actually thinking, oh, Tony does this scanning stuff to, oh, I wonder actually what Tony's thoughts are about scanning. I wonder what Tony's thoughts are about 2025 and the future of 3D scanning. I wonder, if what Tony's opinion is about X, Y, and Z, right? And so if we can come in and actually consider you a thought leader, then that becomes a super important thing. We actually go from being aware to actually thinking, oh, you're actually quite good at what you're doing, right? So this set of messages that we can give to people and this content we can put can be pushing people into this consideration asset. And this consideration asset we say should be something like a weekly moment. This weekly moment thing being like an event, a LinkedIn Live, an article, a newsletter, something long form, like a video, a YouTube video, separate, but long form enough for me to actually really stop, take some time and consider actually, are you good at what you're doing? Am I even interested in your topic, right? And then from there, you can open the door for a sales meeting. And then that's where I go from, oh, you're good at what you do. I wonder if you can do it for me. And if you can do it for me, then I go buy your stuff and you get to deliver, right? Now, we talk about these other stages all over the place. So all we care about today is actually doing this bit, okay? Because I can help to automate this and whole piece. I can automate a list of people going into an automatic connection campaign that can move people into your consideration asset and then automatically follow them up to move them into sales meeting, right? This whole piece through LinkedIn can be set and forget. It can just churn it out. And that's the game. The game's afoot. So let me just show you how we can do that, right? So let's just go back to the presentation. So a typical campaign that we might put together would be something like this, where we are sending out content, we're putting people into events, and we put a flow together. And so when we start to think about what is your flow, then we can put this together. So we'll come back to this. But to start off with, let's go and show you, how you can do it manually. So if you're on LinkedIn, let's just get rid of this, and you're doing this manually, you might go in to do a search and you might go, right, I would love to go and talk to coaches plus speaker plus UK, something like that, right? So I want to outreach to people who are coaches, who are also speakers, who are in the UK, right? And I can go see all people results like this. I can then go and find this search. I can look at my second degrees because I don't want to go to my first degrees because obviously I've already connected to them. And I can just rattle through this and press connect. And then I can go add a note and I can type in a note for this person. I can press send. I can finish. I can go back to the next one and bam, I can start to connect. And then when they do connect, I can go over to my messaging and I can go find these people and then I can go in and actually start doing a messaging conversation with them in there, right? That's the manual way and it works, but it takes a bit of time. Whereas what if we could do all of that completely automatic? What if we could lay the track for people to come down with a set of messages, all automatically it's going to be triggered based upon their activity. And this is where we move to something that can do it automatically. Now, Leadith is the company that we recommend. There's many automation softwares out there. I'm going to show you this one because I use it and it's probably the best one for me to show you. I like it. It works well. It's a nice software. It allows me to build out campaigns and it's a UK-based company that's got great support and you can actually speak to them, right? And have Zooms with them and talk to them and they'll do stuff for you. So I really like it. Alex Smith is the guy behind that. In fact, Flora, could you get Alex's email address? And he won't mind me doing this. But if you are interested in this, if you send him an email saying, hey, Richard Woods at LinkedIn for Breakfast, put you in contact, I'm sure he'll set you up a demo and talk to you about it and probably give you a good deal. So do reach out to him. Right. But here's the dashboard, and this is how we can put campaigns together, and we can start putting campaigns into this. Now, first of all, let's go back to our swipe file and actually work out what campaign we want to be doing, right? Because if we think about those sets of messages, what messages do we want to put down, and how do we not make this messaging conversation that brings people into our weekly moments really nice and easy? And so I've created this swipe file for you. And in fact, I'll put this into the chat now so you can just copy it and get it into, just have it open a tab, save it. It's going into the chat now. And this is my swipe file. There you go. And the email for Alex is just above. Flora's just put it into the chat there for you. Um, cool. So why do we need to think about this first in terms of what campaign and how we put the structure together? Because we want to mimic human behavior. And that's what I love about Lead It. So first of all, in this campaign, what we want to do is go view someone's profile, right? Because that is a natural way that we should do it. Then we want to send a connection request. And so that connection request for me, if I'm targeting those coaches like I just did that search for, would be something like, hey, just a friendly coach to coach, hello. How are things in this crazy upside down world? And look, I apologize if anybody's on this call that's received some of these messages because many of you probably have. So I do, I do apologize in advance. And then, of course, you want to wait, right? So then you wait 3 days and then you want to go and view their profile. And then we want to like the last three posts. Why is that important? Because you're basically showing a bit of engagement, you're showing a bit of interest in their content, which will hopefully then, when you next message them, make you seem someone that is worth responding to, someone that actually spent a bit of time, didn't just kind of pitch and go, right? And so then the second message 3 days later is something like, "Hi, we recently launched an exciting free community called LinkedIn for Breakfast, where we discuss tactics such as going live, Sales Navigator, LinkedIn Pods, etc. We'd love you to be part of it, and here's the link," right? So this is where we're just now promoting something for the clients, right? We're going to them and adding value. So we have this kind of question, ask methodology to this, right? So the hope is that they would go on to the community and join the community where we can add value, right? So we're not going to buy my stuff. I'm just saying, here's some stuff that you might be interested in. Then we're going to wait 14 days, so 2 weeks, because we don't want to feel too pushy. We're going to go back and view their profile page. We're going to add another message in here which says, "Hi, first name. I thought I'd check in. What big projects you're working on this quarter?" Right? So now this is the ask, because remember, this one is the ask, and then this is question, and then call to action, question. So we just want to get the conversation going because it's normal. Like, we don't want to keep on going by, nudge, nudge. This is just a check in. Then if we still get nothing, we're going to wait a whole month before we loop back again. And then we're going to view profile page like the next last three posts, because we presume that, within a month and a half since we actually liked the last posts, they'll probably would have posted again. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to give them another call to action. So I have a replay of a session I run called W Income at the time. Everyone's raving about it. Would you like the link? So again, I'm not now just giving links. I'm just asking because I'm conscious now that I've sent one, two, three messages and they haven't responded. So from here on out, it's about just getting any response, right? And then I'm saying, would you like the link? Then I'm waiting another 28 days. So basically, this whole sequence plays out over 2.5 months. And then I'm going to view their profile page, and then I'm going to do what we call the semi breakup, because we got to finish this. I can't just constantly message them into affinity. I have to kind of draw the line. So this message is, "I'm generally interested in connecting further. Would you say LinkedIn's not the place to do so?" The lack of response above shows that perhaps not, lol, right? You wouldn't believe how many people respond well to that, because it just shows a little bit of human. They're like, "Oh, actually, maybe it was actually Richard messaging, not just a spam bot type thing," right? And we get responses from that. And then people go back, "Oh, sorry, actually, I've just seen that you sent a link to your group. I've just joined the group. Thanks for reaching out. How's things?" Honestly, that's a beautiful one. Add that into your skyrocket. In fact, add all of these into your plan and then just edit it based upon what you're doing. And what I love about getting people to do this is they suddenly realize, oh, do I actually have some sort of replay? Or this could be an ebook, this could be a long form video on YouTube or something that you could share. So do you have an asset that's interesting? Also, do you have somewhere to put them? And this doesn't have to always be a community that you're pushing people into. This could be a LinkedIn. You could do this as a LinkedIn group that you might have set up that people can go into, or you could just do this as an event. You can say, I've got an event that I do, or you could say, I've got a podcast that I have, which you might want to subscribe to, right? What is the thing? If you don't have a thing, get a thing. If you do have a thing, then add it into this because that will really, really help you to develop. Okay. So that's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to then add this on into here. Now, the beauty of this is that you can run this campaign both to new connections, but if you've already got, say, a few thousand connections, you could also run this as a direct messaging campaign. So instead of having a connection request, you just go straight in with a bit of a with the second message on this and work it through as a DM campaign. So you could get up to what we call the 100 Club, which is 20 connection requests. So that's 20 people going through the initial outreach. Why 20? Because LinkedIn allows you to get to about 100 connection requests a week. So we do 20 a day for 5 days. And so that's the funnel that will initially go through. But then you set up a second campaign to your first degree connections and you can send 80 a day DMs because that's about right. It feels like you're not overly doing it. You can go a little bit more than that usually, but actually to keep it safe, we say the 100 Club. So 20 connection requests into that campaign, so 20 people into the outreach campaign, and then you got the DM campaign, 80 a day, go through that. So that then gives you 100 outreach per day. So in here, you can go create campaign, super easy. You just start off with a nice simple campaign like this, and you can add steps. So I would simply go and add step. I can then do the first step, which was to view the profile, wasn't it? Perform action, and then I would then go view profile. Oh, save step. Have I already put that in? View profile page, perfect. And then the next step is then send a connection request. Job done. And now would we want to include some text in this? I can say yes. I go back to my swipe file and I simply just go and chuck in this like this, right? And you can see here, it's not going to take me long just to go and plonk in a bit of text like this. That is the right code, but you can see here you got full name, etc. in here. So you just make sure that that code is correct. So we go hi and then full name. Perfect. It goes in like this. So that will take their name. Just make sure it's all on one line like this. Bam, save step, job to good 'un. Next piece, you then want to make sure you do a wait, right? So you can perform action. You can, oh, and we're going to not do this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'll show you how to do a wait quickly. And I'm not going to build this whole thing out. So wait 3 days and then view profile, right? So we're going to go onto here. We're going to go view profile page. And then we're going to say 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. Wait after previous set. Perfect. So in 3 days, we're going to view profile. Whereas this is going to happen instantly. Okay, so we're going to view profile, send a connection request. Then we're going to add a step. We're going to then perform action again. Oh, hello. No. Oh, that's already gone as a message as a step. Let's get rid of that. Let's add a step, perform action. We're going to go like the next 3 posts. And you can actually then go follow profile if you want. You can endorse the top 5 skills if you wanted. And then we're going to add a step and then we're going to send message number 2, right? And that is where we can delete that, go back to my swipe file, job done, and then bang that in, right? And that's the last thing I'm going to show you on this because it's just simply a case of just following the process that I just showed you. When you copy and paste from a PDF, it does rather like to mess up the formatting on those, so just be careful of that. But stick it in like this, perfect, right? Save step, you've now got that in there. So you can see how easy that is to go through. Now, when you're doing this, you can then get this, you say, perfect, I've got it right, I'm happy with this. Next stage is you need to add a search. Now, why this is super cool, guys, is that it's not just doing a search like I just showed you. So I can go onto here and I've just done, I did that basic search, didn't I, which is coaches per speaker. And I just grabbed the URL like that, copy it, and I can then head back to Leadith and I can just chuck that post that search URL straight in. Job done. That will show it. Now, I've created some really ninja searches in Sales Navigator. So if you upgrade to Sales Navigator, I can do exactly the same thing and I can get a really cool search for Sales Navigator and just chuck it in. But it doesn't just stop there because there's other ways I can do it. There's some great groups that I have feel that my audience is part of on LinkedIn. And if I'm a member of those groups, I can chuck the group link in here and it will just target those people within those groups. That's cool. Or there's posts, there's LinkedIn posts out there that do really well by thought leaders in my space. And anybody liking and commenting on that post, I can actually put that post URL link in and I can target those people. Same with other people's events. I can either target people who have attended my events or I can attend someone else's event. All I have to do is just register to say I'm going. And then I can use this to go and scrape all their attendees and go and target their attendees. That's where it gets a little bit like, ooh, okay, naughty, very naughty. But at the same time, it works. If they are interested in the content that that person's putting out on that event, then why would they not be interested in something that you're putting out? And so there's loads of things. And the final thing that I'll show you here, because there's some other cool things in there, but I'll show you here is a CSV file. So if you've got your email marketing CRM and you can upload that and it should be able to find the profiles based on emails, or if you've got LinkedIn profile, etc., you can upload it and then go and attack that link as well. So really, really cool. There are lots and lots of ways to do this. So you can hopefully see this creates a really nice format. And then once you build that out, you just then run the campaign, you've got the search in, and it will just start to rocket out. Now, once people start to reply, then you don't even need to go back to LinkedIn. You've got this great inbox in here. And why I like this inbox is because this is where you can start to delegate again and get even more help and support from your audience, right? So once you're in an inbox, we will see people coming back. And I do apologize if Karen's on this call, it just happens to be the top one. And so she can see that she's come back. So I've obviously just sent this, just friendly coach, hello, how's things outside the world? And she said, thanks for reaching out. Things seem to be stable and easy. Looking forward to a better 24. Great. Okay. So this is a response that's common. So I'll click on here and I've got saved replies that are in here that once I've been working this, now that my team who take this on can actually go and click on these replies because it's my words that I put in here and they can reply, right? So there is a I'm good, how are you type conversation. Or there's a yes, a crazy world. So I think I'm going to say, yes, it's a crazy world. Things will be stable, not easy, looking for a better 2025. Yes, crazy, but I have really enjoyed the process of continuous adjustment, never found more agile and streamlined. Super excited about the second half of 2024. So I'd probably be saying about super excited about 2025. So this is just us updating this. 2025. Has been working on a podcast which launched the next few weeks, as well as going free community links for breakfast. Feel free to check it out. What's your big focus for next year? Yeah. So you can just see that you just need to tweak this big focus for next year. Perfect. Job done. There you go. Doesn't take long. And actually, once we finish that template, we need to test that. So we can see here, again, someone's come back. Yes, indeed, a crazy upside down. I couldn't agree more. Great to be connected, right? So again, I'm just going to go back to exactly that same message, and I'm going to go and message again with that same template going back, obviously make those changes again, right? So you can see how this becomes really easy. And all I'm doing is using either preset replies to be able to move people into the next bit or new types of replies. And if it is a bespoke one, then my team can just flag it, like star it like this. And then I can just look at the ones that are starred that they work on, because all the rest of it is just a case of knowing what's been said and then sending it back. Or if it's something that is a bit difficult like this, you can actually use this AI and you can then ask for them to give a little bit more of a response. So I can do a book a meeting and it's going to create my response. Say, hey, Grant, great to hear from you. I was just checking out the Business Network London events for in-person on their phone. They offer a fantastic platform connected with like-minded professionals. Let's schedule a meeting to discuss further, right? The AI just did that based upon what the conversation is that it's read. So now it's giving me I would say, more of a kind of format for me to start from because it always feels a little bit there. But actually, I could change it. Instead of doing this, I can go and add a joke in there as well if I want to. Hi, John. I heard that virtual events called the future. It is for innovative minds like yours. Oh my God. It's so good. Even introverts are networking like extroverts. Um, right. Okay. God knows. Apparently, that's funny according to AI. I don't find it funny. I find it cringeworthy. But there you go. Anyway, um, and I should know. I am a dad, so I am well qualified for good Jack jokes. Right. So you can see it's a bit of fun, but it allows you to just get a head start, and the whole point is making it fast and quick and easy. So this is where, if we go back to our game plan, we are trying to take people from that connect. So upload a list into this. It will automatically send 20 connections requests. They send the messages. Also, we'll be sending out messages to your first DMs, filling that consideration asset. And once you set it up, it will just rock. And then all you're doing is using the inbox and just creating quick responses. It saves you a loads of time. So really, really cool and exciting. So, my friends, let's just check into where we are. So, the whole point is that you're thinking about a campaign, you're putting it together, and you've got a campaign. You've got these assets, these consideration assets. You're creating awareness. You're driving people back in, and it works. And the final thing that I'd say for Leadif is that it actually also has a cold email section to this as well. So we can do LinkedIn outreach, but we can also do cold email where you can send a similar type of campaign to an email list. So you can see we upload all these email lists in here. And if I open sequence building, I don't want your head to be blown by this because you can do things like this. And this becomes a sequence, like a waterfall type set of messages. Now, I don't go into this because one is cold email, it's not LinkedIn, so it's not our format. But two, I just show you this so you can see how an email campaign which goes send an email if it's opened and they've clicked a link, then put it into our CRM. If it's open but they haven't clicked a link, send them a second email. If they don't open it, send them another email. And that's how this flow goes. But again, that's just the ninja stuff that we could probably show you on a different call, but we're not going to go into that now. So, my friends, let's just come in here. So, LinkedIn automation, I hope that you can see, can save you time and can also process and systemize your outreach so you know exactly what you're trying to do and how you're trying to do it and where you're trying to be putting people to, and then you can delegate it. Now, there's a few different conversations around what AI tools to use, and there is a load out there. And you've got to, you know, look at which ones that you feel happy with. There's some cheap ones, but obviously you've got to be careful because it's your LinkedIn profile. So you don't want to have things that are going to not mimic human behavior. There's some better ones out there. We really like Leadith because of the support and the help and the way that you can approach it. Plus, it has the cold email as part of it. And there's a load of other things that we love as part of it. But please go and do your own due diligence. I have no affiliation to anything. I just show you what we use. Otherwise, why would I show you anything else? Because that's what we decided upon, right? And you can just email Alex and it's actually a person that's going to talk to you. But that's what I would say. So let's just check into there. So we're going to take some questions in a second. But if it's okay with you guys, I'm just going to use this opportunity to just show you a little bit about what Million Dollar Sprint's about and how we can actually do a lot of this stuff for you. If you're okay with that, it will only take 5 minutes, just very quickly to show you if you're thinking about doing a growth adventure next year. We put out this Black Friday thing and we sold out of our Black Friday offer, but we said to a number of people we're going to stop any of the loose ends today with it at this call, right? So we're going to do this call. We're going to finalize what we've done with Black Friday, and then we're going to close down the offer. And so I thought, well, if we're going to do that, then we might as well show it to people on here. So the punchline of this is that it's £100 offer to get started. So that's what we're going to show you. And what does that actually mean in terms of how we work at Million Dollar Sprint? Well, we want to take that awareness, consider, convert principle and apply it to a content calendar that we produce and send for you. And we run it on LinkedIn, but we also can do this for your other social networks at the same time. And we're going to post every day, and every day is going to have a theme. So things like starting the week with a poll to get the engagement up, to get people working on your profile, then promoting your consideration asset on the Tuesday, then running your consideration asset on Wednesday, and then actually doing a throwback Thursday, for example, or sharing a win on a Friday. So we know each day you've got a post or a piece of content or a little video or an event that's happening to put the rhythm, and we're creating all of that for you. You're signing it off, but we're creating the whole thing, and then we're posting it on your behalf. We're then going to do the outreach for you, very similar to what we've actually just showed you today, but we're going to be there to do those replies as well. So we're going to be sending 20 connection requests a day. We're doing 30 cold emails every single day to a database. And when I say cold, these are introduction emails to people who have business addresses, and we're going to introduce your services to them. We're also going to do things like DM everybody that votes on the poll and start the conversation with the voters. We're going to do things like send out 250 page likes each day to be able to get people to like your page. We're going to be sending out 1,000 event invites, right? So this is a big outreach play that's managed by a human being for you to make this happen, right? And then we're going to be sending out bulk emails to your subscriber list, which will be growing over time, where we're inviting people along to the event. So this is a game plan, right? This is when you're running an event maybe like this, and we're setting up an event like this for you. Or you might think, actually, I prefer to be doing a podcast, or I prefer to be writing an event, sorry, an article which becomes a newsletter each week. So that becomes your consideration asset. And we have a different game plan for that, where we've got a similar kind of process for a posting, but it'll be pushing people into a newsletter, for example, as opposed to an event. We then also have maybe bring in shorts, so those little 1 minute reels, and we have a process to be able to edit those, to put those subtitles over the top and help you to be able to create it. And I work with my VA, and I just literally just do it on my camera phone, WhatsApp it to him, and he edits it and just posts it, right? It's super simple, takes no time at all, but it's really good. And by us taking this process and giving it and running this for you, then that's where we can really help you to get those leads that become into sales, right? And look, it works. Gavin had three, never had done a mastermind, never had coached before. He was a property guy, never had done this. We helped him to create his mastermind, launch his mastermind, and now he's selling multiple places on high ticket masterminds per week. We've got Caroline, who's selling B2B corporate. So this is like a selling into corporate role, who had not been able to break into some of these difficult to get corporate places. And then suddenly she signs and used the MDS system. And then suddenly £51,000 pound deal comes in. Dan here, who's a marketing agency, was doing a couple of £100,000, wasn't doing badly when he first started, but through MDS and the work that we've done, we've now got him over to 1 million in revenue, and actually he's going for 2 million in revenue this year as part of it. He gets a little trophy for doing that. So that's our $1 million Hall of Fame. And look, I'm living proof of this as well. I've scaled now 3 businesses to 1 million in revenue, and we are looking now, at, and they're different businesses. One was a marketing agency, one was a home heating company, and obviously now one's a coaching and VA support company. So we can really help you with this and the insights I've had. So actually, what are the things that we do when we support people? Well, here's the 5 things that we give you. And we feel like this is like a real industry shake up, because many coaches just want to give you a load of stuff to do and then pat you on the head and say over to you and crack on. We actually want to coach you and do it for you. So we want to actually take responsibility for our thought leadership. So yes, I have 4 drop-in clinics a week where you can come and get help and support from me. And we do a one-to-one kickstart session to be able to get the campaign rocking. And there's opportunities for us to have extra one-to-one sessions throughout further on in the program. Then we give you a VA who's going to work 4 hours a day, 5 days a week for you. They basically only have 2 clients. They work for you in the morning, someone else in the afternoon. That is it. And so they are your person who's going to run this campaign, do this stuff. They can do extra bits as well for you. So they are there for you. They are they're going to help you with any of this automation AI stuff, and we're going to get all the techie stuff done for you, so you don't have to get stuck in the weeds with that stuff. We're going to also give you an amazing community. So we've got an online school group that's like this, but it's just for $1 million sprint clients. Plus, we meet in person every quarter for a full day's conference and drinks afterwards, which is all on me. And so that's great fun. And we buddy you up with a peer as well. So when you first start, you buddy up with another entrepreneur that's starting at the same time, and then you can go through the system, which works really nicely. Yes, we do have a library of resources, but the beauty of those resources is it's there to help you to delegate the stuff to your VA. And how does that work? Well, when we have the one-to-one Kickstart session, we'll produce a plan that will be similar to the below like this. And then that becomes the game plan. And the game plan will be a set of to-do lists for your VA, which we'll, as a team, put together. And so you can see all the stuff getting every single day. The transparency is amazing. You can go on there and you can see exactly what's getting done every single day. And you can see the to-do list that looks like this. And look, guys, as I say, it works. There's a low, I mean, I've got a million recommendations, which is fantastic. We're delighted, but people are making sales, and these are all video testimonials of people just turning up to a room full of clients or tripling their investment. So there's so much opportunity here, guys. Okay, so normally, look, you could easily be spending 2 grand a month for this sort of support with all that VA time, with all that campaign time, with all the stuff that we do. Our norm price is £697 per month. That's the norm price. Now, we are going to give you an offer here that you can actually get full membership to the program this year for the rest of this year for just £100. And what that allows us to do is that I can get in, I can start putting the plan together. You and I will have the one-to-one together. We'll get the plan together for 2025. We're actually putting the structure in place. We get you to start creating things, getting your list up, getting the target audience right. So all the stuff's ready, meeting your VA. So they're ready to start in January. Everything ready. So the plan set this side of Christmas. Then we're going to work with you next year to be able to put this in place. That £100 comes off the January, so it actually gives you it for free. So in January, it's going to only be £397 because the £100 comes off there. So you get the £100 for that for free, and then you get then it becomes 497. You lock in that price forever, except for January, which obviously is £100 cheaper because we're taking the deposit off of it. So if you are keen, because we're only going to open this up for the rest of today. So here's the link if you are keen for this. That link simply just takes you through to a Stripe page here where you pay £100 and you take this deal. You then get the rest of this year. We get the Kickstart session. It's just a simple £100 deposit. Then take you through to just a contract to give a digital signature to, just to confirm. Yes, it is 6 months is the term that we're signing up to. So you can see it's a 6 month term because we need that 6 months. We talk about 2 months to get most people to return an investment. That's our target. So we want to get your campaigns running. We want to get you appointments. We want you to start to sell and make deals. That's our target. That's what we want to be working for. And by doing that, getting the plan ready now to hit the ground running in January and to say, right, I know that Richard can help me with this stuff. I know what he says actually does seem to make sense. And I'm ready to grow in 2025. This, we would say, is a very quick, easy way of getting started. And you're getting that VA to do it for you. So it's also really nicely hands-free from your perspective. So thank you for indulging me, guys. I do apologize for going in. I'm going to open it up for questions now. Dawn's got a question, so thank you. Please do ask any questions. I'm happy to take questions about automation, but I'm also happy to take questions about the offer. The link's in the chat there. Thank you, by the way, because my phone went off almost as soon as I put the link up there. So someone's already grabbed one of those 3 spaces. So do jump in quick if you want to grab it. Thank you. Okay, cool. I'll have a look who it is. I won't name them. I won't name them in front of everybody. But thank you for that. So please do jump into that link now. Dawn, over to you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so quick question, because I don't like all this robotic messaging. And it's the only thing that I'm like, would you say that when we introduce the VA, that it would be wise to actually do a post about the VA joining us and saying, right, okay, because the business is growing, etc. And just be completely transparent that, they are joining us. You're probably going to get some messages that are not Dawnified, um, you know, because uh, it's a network I've created. Yes, I know I do regular calls of like 1,300 people, but it just, for the people that have known me for a long time that are on my LinkedIn, the new people, all good. Like, they don't know my style or
Mm,
what have you, but the people that are existing that we've been,
mm.
warming up, shall we say,
I,
for them to start receiving robotic AI without a
I,
sense of
I don't
humor,
think it
obviously.
I don't think it needs to be robotic. I think the point is that every single message that I send out, I've personally written and signed off. So when it goes into that, all I'm saying is, hey, just a friendly coach, to coach, hello, how's things in this crazy upside down world, right? That's Richardified, right? And I'm happy for anybody to get that because that's exactly,
Okay.
I have no other idea of what I would send. Like that is what I would send. So that's tick. And when they come back with a response, then that response that I've created is the response that I go back to people on. And so, bam, I sign that off. But some clients, oh, I'm just going to unmute someone here. There we go. Some clients will come back and, oh, no, right, we're muted. Okay, some clients will come back and they will say, well, actually, I'm just happy to deal with all the second phase replies. So once people have got one reply and gone back, then some clients say, well, I'll just deal with the ones that are in conversation because it's gone to the stage where then I want to actually have proper
Will the
conversation.
VA be checking on that?
Yeah, they will follow whichever instructions you want to do it. So they can either do the whole conversation for you using the templates that you've created. And here's how you can do it because some people, if they're not going to use an automation tool, we also can set up something that looks like this. And this is a template of basically a Google Sheet, and it says if they say this, you reply this. If they say this, you reply this. And this is loads of different examples, and all the VAs actually have this as an example of how to build one of these out with the
Sounds
client.
like something my son would create. Colors and like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Just
Cool.
wanted to check.
No worries, no worries.
Oops.
Great stuff. Questions. So we've got one here from Kate. How do you track the performance of your LinkedIn campaigns? Do you have a spreadsheet which tracks weekly performance, or do you refer to the Leader platform? Do you export the data into CSV for multiple charts, etc.? So just to give you an idea, when we feel it's important to track the important stuff, right? So all of our clients will have an RTM dashboard. So it stands for Reporting Targets and Management. And so why is this important? Well, if we report in it, then that's going to show us what happened. If we set targets, which are in blue, so the reporting's in purple, the targets are in blue, and the fact that the VA is reporting this to you, then that's the management because we're only looking at the important things, right? So this is the top level where we're looking at leads, weekly moment attendees. So if you're doing events, so attendees, strategy session bookings, that's sales meeting bookings, sales meeting show ups, sales closed, and actually the sales target, the target different, right? And so then we look at things such as leads, such as paid ads versus organic leads. And if you want to look at LinkedIn leads, you can add that in as a column. We just kind of look at what's paid and what's organic because it just keeps it simple. Sometimes if you can overlook at the data. If you worry about how many connection requests and stuff you're going out or the rest of it, you might find yourself in the weeds of what's not important. Ultimately, what's important is how many people are leads, how many people want to kind of move into that considerations piece, and how we book sales meetings. And so weekly moment events, so it might be weekly moment LinkedIn registrations, Zoom registrations, and then appointment settings. So your VA will be an appointment setter. So how many appointments do they set for you? How many do you set for yourself? How many came in organically? And then how many did you close, right? So calls booked, calls show up, what the target was, what the difference, how many did you close? By looking and filling this in each week and having a meeting with your VA once a week, to just discuss this. So you can have more than one meeting with your VA, but actually we always say it's great to have one on a Tuesday because you can review. It gives them Monday to complete the report because obviously they can't do it until midnight on Sunday because then that's a full week. They use Monday, they create the report, they have a meeting with you to present the report on Tuesday. So that's the reporting, the targets are on there, and then the management's there, and you'll be able to help to be able to improve the campaign. That's the beauty of it, right? Good stuff. So Maureen says, I do get where Dawn is coming from, trying to get my head around how bot AI or a VA becomes me. And the point is that they don't become you, they just use your words. And as soon as they find it complicated or bespoke, then they just send you the link to the person that has sent the slightly different message, and that person is then sent to you for you to message back. So instead of having to worry about the 30 people that might hit your inbox for a campaign like this per day, you're just worrying about the three people that actually came back with something that actually was a bit more bespoke. And that in itself is a massive time saver and help. Um, Cool. So just remember, guys, it's simply that £100 deposit, and you and I will get that campaign set, put together, put your 2025 strategy in place, and you'll be able to jump into that special offer that will go. That basically will go. So if you want to do that now, that's the offer, and then obviously you're getting the discounted rate for as long as you work with us. So hope that helps. Further questions, guys? Happy to answer any questions about the automation you may have. Um, Dawn says AI can never say what I say. Yeah, well, that's part of, but a VA can say what you say.
Yeah, but Rich, even I'm surprised by what comes out of my own mouth sometimes. So, know.
You and I both, Dawn. I love it. Cool. Um, Other questions, thoughts, gang? AI is a bit too politically correct. I like that from Nick. Any other questions you might have, gang? Deborah, go for it.
So you mentioned the courses for 6 months. I've signed up, by the way. I'm very excited.
I know. Welcome, welcome.
So yeah, I thought it was actually for a year, so even better. So what did you say that you're supposed to sort of try and get things going in 2 months, and by 6 months you think that it's over, or do you get people obviously staying for longer, and what's the situation?
Yeah, exactly. So my plan, my sinister plan is to work for you for 6 years, not 6 months. But that's because we've been able to help you to outsource everything. We've been able to help you to basically put a back end into your business and run it for you. And we want to build a relationship. So Flora and I have worked together for what, 3.5 years now, and she's like the OG of this VA concept because we work so well together that I just thought everybody needs to have a Flora, and this became the format for the whole product basically. Because I was always coaching and giving people ideas, and then I'd say you need a VA to go do this stuff, and then I was like, well, it just makes so much more sense if I actually then just combine I train the VA. So we've got a whole academy that we put people through. I have meetings with all the VAs each week, plus they have team leader meetings, etc. So they're always constantly updating. So it just helps me to make sure the quality's there and the knowledge of actually what I'm coaching is there, as well as carrying on and helping the entrepreneur and get them and grow them, as well as grow the VAs that they work with. So that's why I love doing it. Now, in terms of that return on investment piece, we really want to target people getting their strategy session or their sales meeting rebranded into something that's exciting. So, for example, our sales meetings are LinkedIn profile audit because it allows us to help and add value to people. And then at the end of that, it allows us to then transition people into a potential sales conversation if it's appropriate, right? So if we can get more clients who have a bit more of a branded sales meeting, then you get more sales meetings because it becomes more of value, right? So people forget about that bit. And then if we can get that bit right in the initial stages, and we can get your event, weekly moment, newsletter, whatever your kind of consideration thing is right, and push people into that, then you're going to get attention, you're going to get inquiries, you're going to get people spending time with you, you're going to open the door for those appointments, you're going to have those appointments, and then the first wave of sales will come out, of which we will also help you with what the offer should be to be able to get those first few quick wins. So that's the game plan. So when you and I have our Kickstart session, which I think is it this week?
Friday, yeah.
Friday, perfect. That will be the tapestry which we'll start with.
Can I quickly ask as well, because I do actually have a VA at the moment, would I train them then in the bits that maybe your guy is not doing, so I could get them to do the other bits, or how would that work? Or do you...
That can work really nicely. We've got clients who have got multiple different supports, etc., and we just look at, well, where's the skill set? And to be honest with you, Deborah, when we have a one-to-one, we have different types of VAs. So I've got clients that come in and say, actually, I've got a VA that does all my social media stuff, and we say, okay, cool. Well, we will give you a telephone appointment setter as your VA for the campaign. So we've got telephone appointment setters, and they love that because it means that we can train their VA on our system and give them all access to those Trello boards and templates, etc., with the campaign. So it's like drag and drop for them. Plus, we can then give you a telephone appointment setter to follow up all the leads and bang through the calls to fast track some of the those meetings. So then that can work really well. So that will all come out of the Kickstart session.
Brilliant, thank you.
No worries, no worries. I'm gonna have to go in a couple of minutes, but I can take one further question. Kobe says, "Is there a recap?" Yeah, all recaps are in LinkedIn for Breakfast community. It'll be pinned to the top in about an hour in there. Any other final questions? Right, guys. Well, look, I hope that's been a
Richard, I
Go
just
for
wanted
it.
to quickly ask, thanks so much for your time.
No worries, Louise.
I just wanted to quickly ask, Lead It, does it sync into Pipedrive or HubSpot?
You can probably do something like a webhook into
Right.
it. So you can probably do that as a kind of a Zapier integration webhook. There's not a direct integration,
Okay.
but you can pull webhooks out, and Pipedrive do a set webhooks. What webhooks are? I mean, do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah. So I run a CRM consultancy and do a bit of what you do on the back of that. So I'm just always really interested to know what different softwares out there, and Lead It sounds great. So is it Alex that I contact about that?
Yeah. Just
I'll drop him a
contact
note.
Alex. Just say, hey, Richard mentioned it, and he'll set up a demo for you and go from there.
Great. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
No worries. Great stuff.
Cheers.
Thank you all, and I will see you all next week. Thank you again for the people that jumped into that offer. If you haven't got it and you were thinking about it, it's in the chat. Just quickly click on that, have it up on a tab because we're going to close the call now. And thank you all so much, and I will see you all in due course. Big love. Take care. See you on the flip side.